Coming up on City Spotlight, we are talking Charleston. We'll talk with Cindy White of the Charleston Area Chamber of Commerce about the recent Tour de Charleston bike race. Plus, we'll also talk Charleston businesses. And at the end of the program, we'll have a feature on the Charleston Community Band as longtime band members reflect on 40 years of playing music in Charleston. Stay tuned. The focus is on Charleston next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And thank you to all of you for joining us for this latest episode of City Spotlight. Today we are talking Charleston, and we'd like to welcome back to the program Cindy White, the President and CEO of the Charleston Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back, Cindy.
Thank you, Romaine.
And we had you on at the beginning of the year, and
Yes.
One of the things that you talked about at the turn of the year was the Tour de Charleston bike race, the inaugural, first ever of that. I was out of town that weekend, but from what I saw on social media, a great turnout, some great visuals that we'll hopefully get to show, and tell us how it went.
Well, it went fabulous. We worked very hard prepping for that. Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning of the year, and then it happened on Saturday, June 3rd. And just a little bit of background, it was the inaugural Tour de Charleston bike race. However, the race had been hosted by the former Exchange Club of Charleston for 10 years under the banner of Tour de Exchange. Unfortunately, last fall, the Exchange Club disbanded for lack of membership, so the chamber saw an opportunity. We no longer wanted to do our golf outing. We just weren't getting the attendance and the sponsorship exposure that we needed for our members. So when the bike race became available, I saw it as an opportunity to do something relevant, something to involve our businesses, our community members, and bring in a whole different group of people. So we did that with the help of a lot of people, a lot of moving parts in a bike race. I personally had never managed a bike race or even attended a bike race, so it was a pretty big learning curve there. But we had members of the former Exchange Club who served on our committee. All the folks from Bike and Hike were wonderful. We had city officials, so everybody was just excited about it, and they stepped up to help, and the end result turned out really fantastic.
So a great collaborative effort from Charleston. And tell us about the bikers. What was the turnout, and where did some of these people come from?
Well, it was structured to have 3 different routes. So it was meant to appeal to a variety of bikers, everybody from the more casual weekend rider, we even had some families participate, all the way up to those avid bike enthusiasts who were really concerned about their time. So the 3 courses, we had a 12.5 mile and a 25 mile. Those went north of town. Everything started from the corner of 6th and Jackson, right by the courthouse. The 12.5 and the 25 milers went up north of town. That's all pretty flat up there, but very scenic. So that appealed to the little less super serious bikers, though the biggest number of people participated in the 25 miler. And there were some serious bikers there.
Awesome.
The 50 mile, which is, that's set, you've got to be a little bit more.
That's a lot of miles.
Yeah, you've got to be into biking to do that 50 mile. That went south of town.
Okay.
Yeah, wound its way through town and then headed out south. And of course, it's beautiful down there. You're starting to get into the hillier ravine area. So it was called the Hilly 50.
Okay.
For a reason, because it is quite hilly, though there were some nice long stretches. But it went all the way down into Cumberland County, if you can imagine that.
Oh, wow.
Then turned back east and crossed the Ryan Bridge, crossed Route 130, and looped back around and came back into town. So there was something, like I said, there was something for everyone. All totaled, we had 233 people register for the race. I think we had around 220 who actually participated.
Okay.
And we gave away awards for the overall biker in each race. And then we had multiple categories, and we had male and female first and second place in all those categories.
All right, very good. So you had good weather, good turnout
Yes.
for the very first one. What do you need to improve on for going into next year's?
Well, we really have gotten lots of good feedback, and we actually crafted a survey and sent it out to all of our bikers, and we've gotten about a 40% return so far on the survey. So we're getting some good feedback. 90% of it's been positive. There's a few, there's always a few things you can tweak. And you have to understand, everything we had prepared for was 150 bikers, and those registrations just kept rolling in and rolling in. So kind of at the last minute, we had to make some corrections in amount of food, we had to order more race bibs, more medallions, all kinds of stuff. So that's a good problem to have, though. Nearly everyone has said that they would come back again and they will tell their friends. We publicize it, radio, TV, newspaper, but heavy on social media. And that's where the bulk of them saw that about the bike. We were able to attract a small group of super serious bikers from the Champaign-Urbana area, which there's a large contingent of bikers up there, and they loved the Hilly 50. They're like, stuff we take for granted. Right. They said, you've got trees, you've got hills, because they're used to biking flat cornfields. They're like, we'll be back, this is great training. So we're optimistically hoping to hit 350 next year. Wow. So that's great for our businesses, because we had lots of sponsors, we had lots of participants, brings all those people into our community. And then we tried to tell them about other things to do that day. Also going on that day was Muse Fest up on the square. The farmers market was open. There was the Coles County Barber Shoppers had their concert that evening. So we really tried to encourage people to stay. And there's some other things we're going to try to add in next year. So bring all those people into the community. We'd really like to see next year community residents kind of lining the bike routes and cheering the bikers on. We had some of that this year. We'd like to just grow on that. So, all I say is I just see really positive, lots more opportunities, just a really neat addition to our community. And it's different.
A new event, hopefully can build a tradition here in Charleston, and you got the first one in the book, so you have a good first start there. Right. Very good.
Yeah.
Other things going on with the Chamber here is we're in the second half of 2017. What else do you have coming up with the Chamber? Well,
we're looking at doing a seminar in the end of July 26th, with one of our members on a hot topic that we all unfortunately have to be aware of, is cybercrime. How to protect we have a lot of small businesses, and I think we're all aware of these cyber attacks, these ransomware and all of that's out there. So we're doing a little seminar on that. Start at 7:30 that morning, go from 8 to 9 over in City Hall in their basement hall, but their basement meeting room. So we're doing that. Coming up this fall, we were going to do an event out at the lake, kind of celebrating the opening of the pavilion, but things are delayed with that now. So we're looking to delay that until next spring, and maybe do it somehow connected and have a little kickoff for the bike race. Maybe have a kids bike race out across the levee, pass, something like that. We're just trying to be creative. Fall's always a busy time. We work on our membership directory, have another fundraiser. Chamber of Commerce Week is in there, so there's always stuff. We are kind of partnering with EIU. They are hosting an event on August 21st for the Great American Eclipse.
All right.
Yeah, so we're working with the physics department, and they're going to have an event at their observatory. So we're going to just kind of partner and make sure, try to get the community out there, because it's just such a unique event. And right here in Charleston, we will see 95% totality of the eclipse.
Wow.
Carbondale's seeing the full 100%. But we're pretty good at 95%, so we're going to participate in that. That's the first day of classes, so that's going to be a really interesting day.
It's going to be a memorable day, especially for some of those freshmen.
Yeah.
Very good. On our last episode on Charleston was actually this past month. We had Angela Griffin of Coles Together and Paul McCann of Eastern Illinois University. Talked about something that you told us about last time, this EIU Economic Impact Study. We learned what we kind of already knew. EIU has a big impact locally and also within Central Illinois. What did you take away from the results of the study?
Well, it was the study was long overdue. I mean, anyone who spent any time in Charleston, I mean, we knew just intuitively that when there's a decline in enrollment at the university, we're going to feel it out in the community. The study just corroborated that and gave us hard facts, gave us the data, which is helpful for Dr. Glassman when he goes to the appropriations, committee in Springfield. So that was all great. I'm not a super numbers person myself, but so qualitatively, I mean, I think we can all talk about the impact. How can we not feel it? Right. In fact, this morning, front page of the Wall Street Journal was an article that they'd been working on for quite a while out of the Wall Street Journal, the Chicago office, about this impact of the budget impasse on not only the state, its workers, I mean, the businesses, et cetera. It was a very comprehensive article. And in there, they actually came to Charleston, interviewed some of the faculty members at EIU, interviewed myself, and we were quoted in the article. But just talking about this impact, it's undeniable that with that declining enrollment, for all the reasons that that's happening, which there are multiple, the impact out in our communities. I mean, some of our businesses are making corrections and trying to attract business from other outside of EIU students, but it's had a devastating effect on a lot of communities.
And we sit here taping this program on June 28th, 2 days before the fiscal year is over, in Springfield, trying to make something happen before an unprecedented another whatever may happen. Your thoughts as it gets down to these last 48 hours and hopefully when people are seeing this in July, what we're talking about, something happened. Your thoughts on the current state of the situation?
It's just unconscionable, I think, at this point. Something has to be done. There's too much of a ripple effect. Our social service agencies, our businesses, we have healthcare people, dentists, physicians, whoever have not receiving payments. All of it, the funding for the budget, not happening. I mean, it's just, something has to give. I mean, we're losing people from the state, we're losing businesses. It's time for something. In our fourth season now of City Spotlight, for the past couple of years, we've been I've been beating the dead horse, asking the same question, and unfortunately we're in this current situation. So hopefully July hits and this episode is airing and something that happened and good news for everyone in Illinois. What I have seen, though, kind of locally is a switch in attitude. Our businesses are kind of realizing that they can't rely on somebody else, the state or the government or whatever. And there's kind of been a turn to, we need to take care of each other. We need to foster shopping locally. We need to work together to bring things to our community and make our community great and help each other out. And I think that's a refreshing change, not relying on anyone else. If we're going to make it happen, we have to make it happen ourselves.
In this last little bit with you, Cindy, at this time last year, we're talking about all the new businesses in Charleston, and as we sit here in the July of 2017, we have the new memory care facility open on 18th Street. Talk about some of the changes, new, and unfortunately some had to go.
And that's the way it is in the business community, particularly restaurants. They have the highest failure rate, unfortunately. But we've had some others that have opened that are still going, and we're thankful for that. Yes, the Memory Care Center on 18th Street is a great addition. That will be multiple jobs, decent paying jobs. That facility will also service our corporate training headquarters, so those are good jobs. I mean, that's the kind of thing we like to see. And it kind of cleaned up a whole section of 18th Street, and 18th Street is kind of thriving, so we welcome them.
A lot of new things on 18th Street there, and that new memory care facility, you can't miss it. It's a huge structure, so long overdue, glad it's open. President and CEO of the Charleston Area Chamber of Commerce, Cindy White, it's been a pleasure having you back on City Spotlight.
Thank you so much.
And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we're going to have a feature on the Charleston Community Band. As we talk about the band that's in its 40th season, we'll talk with some longtime members who reflect on being in the band, and also the impact that longtime band director John Dahm had on the band. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Charleston.
Hi, I'm John Dom. I play trumpet, and I am the son of the founder of the Charleston Recreation Band. My dad started the band 40 years ago, and I was happy and drafted to be part of it. So for my whole life, band has been part of our family. My dad thought that band was an important part of the community, and so he tried to bring the community together during the summers by bringing a bunch of volunteers together to play twice a week. It's turned out to be a wonderful experience, and I'm so proud of my dad's efforts to make this work.
I'm Jane Ozier, and I play a clarinet. I've been in a community band for 40 years. I guess it's pretty thrilling. I never thought about it when I started 40 years ago, but it's pretty exciting now to know that it's been such a wonderful experience for 40 years. I look forward to it every year. Never regret or think, wow, I don't want to go to practice. I love it.
Dale D. Downs, and I play the E-flat alto saxophone or whatever sax they need. And I've been in the band since it first started. We traveled all around the town. We played on the square, we played at the nursing homes, we played at the different parks within the city, and then we had the white, some say the white elephant over by the stream, but you know, it served its purpose, and for several years.
My name is Charles Hughes. I play trombone. I've played euphonium also. I've played in the band for 38 or 39 years. While I was teaching, I was in and out, but since I've been here in Charleston, I've played constantly. The addition of the band shell and the amphitheater seating has been a wonderful thing. The city was very good to support us and to provide the facility. Mayor Kogel was very active in seeing that was taken care of, and he's played in the band a number of years. So having a community that will support an activity this size and for this length of time is really unique in the state of Illinois.
My name is Stephen Jones, and I first started in the Charleston Community Band as a third clarinet player the summer before I went into 6th grade. And somewhere along the way we lost all of our flute players, and Mr. Dahm asked me if I had a flute, and I said, yeah, I have one out in the car. He said, well, would you mind going to get it? So that began my flute and piccolo career with the community band. I've been with the Charleston Community Band for about 39 years. I was late to it, but the camaraderie of being with all these people and experiencing so many different levels of musicianship. We have people that are in their teens who are just starting out. We have people that were professional musicians who are now maybe retired, who are playing in the community band, and people who are just playing for fun. And it's wonderful for everybody to get together, and everybody's on an even playing field. We can learn from each other, and we can teach each other as well. And really, the Charleston Community Band is about community. It's about bringing people together, bridging the gaps between the middle school, the grade school, the middle school, the high school, between the musicians and the community itself and the university. And we've been so blessed to be involved with Eastern Illinois University as well, and having so many people from the university playing and being a part of our Charleston Community Band.
I'm Ginger Stanfield, and band director of the Charleston Community Band. I've been with the group since the summer of 1979. I started teaching in the school district with John Dahm in the fall of '78 after I graduated from Eastern, and started with the community band that summer of '79. Been playing with the group off and on through the years. When you have children, you have a tendency to have to do ball games and that kind of thing, but I've basically been with the group since the summer of '79. This season has been very eventful. We've had great crowds. We've had lots of musicians. We've done songs that we've played from the beginning and new songs and everything in between. Every year we have musicians that come as far north as Champaign and further, even up as far as Kankakee. We have musicians that come from as far as Windsor and that way, south of Greenup and Newton, that area. We have had musicians that have played with us every 40 years from all those areas. We have even had, even this year and every year, we have musicians that find out about us that are coming through. We had a gentleman play with us at our 5th concert that was from Alabama going through to Wisconsin, and he sat down and played with us at rehearsal and the concert, and then went on up north to play for their community band up north. So we have volunteers that just come in for a week or so, and we have volunteers that have been here for 30+ years.
The band has had a number of players this year, multi-generation, which is very nice to have at times parents and children playing in the same ensemble. It's truly a community band. It's a good opportunity for the younger students in the school system to sit next to some stronger players, to see some of the stronger literature. It's been an excellent addition to the program.
Just the camaraderie of the group, you know, you get to know all ages, and that's a good thing, and as I get older I appreciate that even more. But that's the main thing, that you just get to know each other and you continue playing, and we all enjoy playing or we wouldn't do it.
The Charleston Community Band is a completely voluntary band. Everybody is here because they want to be here. They volunteer their time for rehearsals and for performances. A lot of other communities have municipal bands, I guess, where the musicians are paid to be there, and it's sort of like an extra job for them. I don't feel that they have the heart that we have here. And our audience really has a connection with all of us. We see so many of them year after year after year, and they're always here early. They line up and they get their chairs in place, and they are ready to be here with us. And again, that's community.
It just feeds one's enthusiasm for playing, because you know these people are coming and they really enjoy it. And when you're playing the music, you enjoy it, but it's multiplied when you know there are people who enjoy hearing it. So just the love of music, making music and pleasing people is wonderful for me.
That's great. You know, last week that gangbusters 400 some people, and that you enjoy playing for people, and the more you play for, the more enjoyment, I guess. But we'd play if we just had 30 out there, because we enjoy it so much.
When you look out and you see all the crowd that's here in the amphitheater and on the hills, it's just very humbling and very awesome both. It gets your adrenaline pumping, and you just want everything to go real well, and it's just awesome.
It's a wonderful chance for people to come out every week and enjoy this wonderful music. Again, a wide variety of music, a lot of different musicians that come out and take part. A lot of different experience goes on. We have all the way from middle school kids all the way to college professors of music. So it's a nice mixture to have. It's also a free event that we allow for the community to come out and participate in, that they can enjoy without having to spend any money.
It's nice that the community band is able to play for the 4th of July parade. We've had different organizations in the community provide us with a truck to ride, which is very nice. It's not possible really for us to march with our ages and variety of players. So having this outlet to have a band in the community 4th of July parade is a good addition to the celebrations.
The amphitheater stands as a tribute to Mr. Dahl's exceptional hard work to enrich the community with music and other performing arts, and is now named in his honor, as is appropriate. Thank you, John.
My dad came in and he saw the rock and he saw the name on the amphitheater. He basically broke down crying because he finally realized after so many years that people actually appreciated what he was doing. He knew in his heart that it was an important thing to do, but to see the community give back to him, put the name on the theater, put the name on the rock, that was just a wonderful gift to my father. Everybody knew my dad as the band director, and they maybe didn't know his name, but they knew he was the band director. And even to this day, I'll have people that are older than I am come up and say, you know what, I remember your dad. He really helped me through the hard times of junior high, and I will always appreciate what your dad did for me when I was young. And so you're right. The community knows my dad is the the music man, but they know him as a guy who basically made a difference in people's lives.
John served the community for many, many years. I had John as a band director in junior high. So I have known him for a number of years. To know him as a teacher and to know him as a colleague has been a wonderful experience for me. The man dedicated himself to music in the town, weathered some very, very bad times in the schools when things were cut. He didn't hesitate. He stepped right up and filled in everywhere that he possibly could, met the needs as he could, and was probably essential in seeing that the program survived many, many cuts during bad times.
Everything I'm feeling about this, I bring it all back to community. He was such an important part of the community with being a teacher and being a mentor to so many of us, working with the community band, getting that started with his work with the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts, and having so many of them performing with us as well. He was just a tremendous asset to the community.
He loved the marches, and he loved having all of us here, no matter how well we played. It didn't matter, but because we were here, and he was committed to us, and we were committed to him. And I think he has meant a lot to the community for years.
I would hope to think John would be very proud of the group and the legacy that it is continuing. And I know that I am very proud that the musicians have continued to support this, along with our sponsors and the community that comes out every week to come and listen to our concerts. A lot of communities, like you said, do not have this opportunity. And I think it speaks volumes that we do have the crowd that we do, and we have the musicians that volunteer their times and talents for this event. And it's an honor that it's gone on for 40 years, and I hope it goes on for another 40.
City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.